Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commanders studio. Welcome to the show. So everything from Aetherdrift has been revealed, including the Commanders, and we've had some time to review them. Everyone has, and there are some that stand well above the rest when it comes to the interest in building around them and already the amount of decks that have built around them online. These cards haven't even come out yet, but we know what the most popular ones are right now, and one of them, my goodness, is skyrocketing. Let's jump into it. So we're going to start things off at number 10. 143 decks already to its name. Sab-Sunen, Luxa Embodied, a 6/6 god with reach, trample, indestructible. Keyword soup, basically, for 5 mana in Simic. Can't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it. Beginning of your first main phase, you get a counter on it. Then if it has an odd number of counters on it, you draw 2 cards. So this commander is not only a giant threat that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but also a massive draw engine for you, though with a little kind of mini game around it and having to make sure you can manipulate counters in a way that when you need to draw your cards on that first main phase trigger, you make sure that you can get there by getting to that odd number of cards with that trigger. And then all of a sudden, by having, an even number of counters on it to make sure you can attack or block with it when you need to. So yeah, proliferate effects, counters effects, you can definitely do some really cool things with this one. It is an interesting build around for sure, taking Simic in a different direction than most, just land, draw, yay. No, this is more so counters, manipulate, draw, fun. Again, enough for 10th place, 143 decks already to its name. Moving on to 9th place, though, just barely edging out 10th place, we've got Samut the Driving Force with 147 decks already to its name for 5. Human Warrior Cleric for 6 mana in Naya. First Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Start your engines. Other creatures you control get plus X plus 0. X is your speed. Non-creature spells you cast cost X less, for X is your speed. This is a commander that helps you out in 2 massive ways, though you are dependent upon getting that max speed up, essentially, or the speed up in general, I should say. When you first play this, sure, just +1 plus 0 if you don't have any other, start your engines cards. That's okay. The less than 1 cost for your non-creature spells, that's nice. That being said, obviously, when you can get to that max speed and it's +4 plus 0 for your team, that is huge. I mean, even the smallest creature token, just a 1/1's can be like, hey, I'm hitting for 5. Boom. But then also, again, more importantly, potentially, those non-creature spells cost 4 less to cast each, which are huge. And of course, those can be ones, that make you a ton of creature tokens so you can go wide. So those 2 things can play off each other. A lot of players out there apparently are up for the challenge of utilizing a commander like this, which again, utilizes a mechanic with that start your engines. You probably want to try to find cards that start your engines in different ways so that you can actually get out there, get that max speed up even by the time you get your commander down, which would be amazing. The way I would do that, hint, hint, wink, wink, just a little hint for you all, is probably cards like Crop Rotation, going out and getting one of those lands specifically. So not, your basic land searching. That's nice, like Rampant Growth, but you do need like those specific land searching, ones that can get anything like a Crop Rotation to go get those lands that can start your engines right away. So that's how I would go about it. Or if you just want to chuck all the start your engines cards to the deck, sure, that might be able to work out as well, but maybe not as well as a more focused approach. That being said, a lot of players are up for the challenge. 9th place, 147 decks already. Next up at 8th place with 164 decks to its name, Nissa, World Soul Speaker. A 3/3 elf druid for 4 mana in green. Landfall, whenever land you control enters, you get 2 energy counters. You may also pay 8 energy or unpay the mana cost for permanent spells you cast, which is massive. So going about energy in a different way, I wasn't surprised to see this one on this list. Players out there really like Landfall. A lot of players like Landfall. They like green, they like lands, cool. But they also like, you know what? Hey, let's do energy in a cool way and playing things for free, most importantly. So being able to take advantage of not only just cheating things into play, but actually cheating on the cast, so you do get whatever cast triggers you have, whether that's a giant Eldrazi that has, draw 4 cards or destroy something or whatnot. But yeah, just being able to get that thing into play now and just saying, you know what, I'm just spending energy to do so, and it's very easy to do so because one Evolving Wilds put into play, tap, sacrifice it, and now all of a sudden I get 4 energy with that second land coming into play. Of course, I've got all the other ways to get so many landfall triggers and so many ways to take advantage of energy. It is a commander that, again, really opens up things for energy decks out there. Although, again, it is, again, just a single color, it still opens up so much for what you can do, and also lets you cheat to play giant things. So have fun just cheating to play some Eldrazi, most likely. But yeah, 8th place finish, 164 decks to its name already. Next up at 7th place, though, we are really jumping up. 297 decks already for Loot the Pathfinder. Yeah, this one surprised me because not a lot of Magic fans out there tend to be fans of Loot, it seems. Anyways, a 2/4 Beast Noble for 5 mana and Temur. Enough, apparently, to make it in 7th place. Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Exhaust has 3 different effects, essentially, for this one. A green tap, 3 mana of any one color. Blue tap, draw 3. Red tap, 3 damage to any target. Again, Exhaust means use that ability only once, or, yeah, if you're building around this commander, I would assume you're building some blink strategy into here to actually blink it so it resets that exhaust, because yes, that does work. So essentially, a commander that is a toolbox commander. It can give you a good amount of mana on that tap, can give you a good amount of card draw. Again, 3 for 1 mana, that's lovely. And then also, of course, a nice little lightning bolt effect too, that's quite nice. But yeah, the big part about this one is essentially, hey, you know what? I am a toolbox commander. You can utilize me multiple times as long as you keep blinking me again and again and again. And since I'm hasty, you can utilize me right away. So one-tap effects can, of course, really help too. But yeah, a lot of commander players out there seem to be pretty excited about this one. Again, surprisingly, 7th place finish. Next up at 6th place, one of my favorite commanders from the entire set in the precons. We've got Mendicant Core Guide Light, Star 3 Robot, Ledger Artifact Creature for 2 mana in Azorius. Power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Start your engines. Max speed whenever you cast an artifact spell, pay 1 if you do. Copy it. So this one essentially is one where, again, it's got that parasitic-ish mechanic. Start your engines. That being said, it is a low-to-the-ground commander, so you don't have to worry about just chucking every single Start Your Engines card into the deck to make it work. You can just play your commander on turn 2, start your engines, and go from there, and pretty consistently get to max speed pretty quickly. So this is a commander that, again, gives you a good amount of value when it's just, you know, no max speed right now, because, again, it's still going to be a hardy commander that can hit really hard. Star 3, but again, equal number of artifacts you control. That counts all your artifacts, including tokens like treasures, clues, etc. So this can easily be a 3-shot KO, if not a 2-shot KO, and with double strike effects, even a 1-shot KO, or just later in the game, maybe even a 1-shot KO with enough treasures or whatever in play. That being said, the real value comes when you do get to that max speed, and all of a sudden you double up any of your artifacts for a single mana. You want 2 Soul Rings? Cool. Play your Soul Ring, pay an extra mana, you copy it, and all of a sudden you get 4 mana for the price of 2. And that, of course, is just a little baby example of what can be absolutely absurd and what you can be copying. Some absolutely massive things like a Metalwork Colossus for just a single extra mana to get an extra one. Yeah, absolutely absurd. So this is a commander that obviously can be a huge heavy hitter on its own and a huge heavy hitter what it does. I love the design of it. 6th place finish, 363 decks. Next up, moving on to 5th place. Some commanders are going to be on this list that have a little bit of a cheating strategy to them. That's because they are pre-con commanders. They're not cheating on, you know, getting extra decks, but essentially, yeah, they kind of a built-in amount of decks that are going to be built around them because they're the pre-con commander. People just buy the pre-cons and all of a sudden want to build around those, obviously, put them with decks online, and there you go. 426 decks to its name, Saheeli Radiant Creator, a 4/4 Human Artificer for 4 mana in Timber. Whenever you cast an artifact or artifact spell, Artificer or artifact spell, I should say, you get an energy counter. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 3 energy. When you do get a token, that's a copy of target permanent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature. Just other types has haste. Sacrifice via next end step. Basically, yeah, play a bunch of artifacts and artificers, get a bunch of energy, maybe proliferate some to get even more, and then copy your big things. Copy some massive things, copy some things, then get you some awesome triggers, and then you lose those things. Unless you don't, because you could, say, utilize something like Sundial the Infinite to end the turn, and all of a sudden, that sticks around. Yeah, that works. Or, if you've got some proliferate effects, make a copy of that artifact creature that, you know, you shouldn't be able to make a copy of, and all of a sudden, now you've got it staying in play as well. You can use it to do some massive ETB, some massive abilities, some massive things. Again, a brand new way to get a ton of energy, utilize those really exciting energy cards. Not surprised he is on the list again, especially since it's a pre-con commander, though I will spoil things right now a little bit. There are only 3 of the 4 pre-con commanders on this list. One did not make it. Let's see if you can guess which one. Next up in 4th place, though, unsurprisingly, Temmet was one that did make the list at 605 decks to its name. Temmet, Noctimoon's Will, a 4/4 zombie wizard with vigilance and menace for 5 mana. And Esper, whenever you attack, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get ++1 until end of turn. Yeah, zombies are probably always going to be popular. I can't imagine. Maybe 10 years from now, you just look at the list like, wow, zombies have really fallen down the list. No. Zombies have been super popular for a long time, and this is a commander that is definitely going to be one that has some staying power. It is one that is, oh my goodness, a threat to be reckoned with. This is, hey, just go wide with zombies, okay? I'll handle basically all the rest. Just go wide with zombies, have some draw effects in there, and all of a sudden you just have a massive pumped army that just decimates your opponents. Again, literally just a simple example, like, okay, I've got, say, 7 zombies in play. Awesome, good for me. All right, they're 2/2s, because that's what zombies are. Awesome, I got those zombies in play. I draw my card for the turn. I attack, I get an extra card that I'm, drawing, discarding. Cool, all right, so that's 2 cards drawn, that's +2/+2. If I just cast, say, a Brainstorm for three, cards drawn for 1 mana, essentially, that's an extra +3/+3. That is +5/+5 to my zombie army for literally just spending 1 mana on the turn and attacking. That is it. That is all I had to do. My team gets +5/+5, basically Beastmaster Ascension. And all of a sudden, I'm swinging with, again, what I say, 7 zombies that are 2/2s now. They get +5/+5. That's 7 7s. I'm swinging for 49. I'm swinging for 49 for just doing that, plus my commander swinging as well, which of course it will. So plus another 9, that's 58. All of that, just all of that massive pump effect for just a simple 1-mana spell. And of course, there's plenty of other ways to, wheel, draw so many cards, just massive draw spells, repeatable draw effects. This is a commander that is most definitely here to stay. Zombies are popular. This is effective. My goodness, 4th place, 605 decks to its name. Next up at 3rd place, 629 decks to its name. I am so excited to see Captain Howler up here. Sea Scourge, a 5/4 Shark Pirate with Ward 2, pay 2 life for 4 mana, and is it? Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combination player this turn, you draw a card. This is a commander that is like a very weird rummaging effect, kind of on repeat in a way. Because if you have, say, a wheel, right? A regular wheel effect. No, like Magus the Wheel. Sure, all right, that's a budget-friendly one. Draw, discard your hand, draw 7. Okay, let's say you discarded 7, all right? You can give something +14/+0 until end of turn. Sure. But that creature is only going to be drawing you 1 card when it hits a player. That being said, if you, say, have a repeatable discard outlet, like a free repeatable discard outlet out there that you can just discard a card for free, like Aquamoeba or whatever those ones are, like, okay, I discard a card, I target that. I discard another card, I target that again. I discard another card, I target that again. You can keep targeting the exact same creature, get an evasive creature again and again and again. And because it's going to do that, it stacks that effect. So again, whenever that creature is combinated to a player this turn, draw a card, it stacks that effect. So you literally have that, again, say 7 times on it. So all of a sudden, you hit with that creature, you're drawing 7. Now here's the thing, you're in red, you've got double strike type effects. My goodness, some like enchantments you just have in play that are like, okay, yeah, everything's got double strike, cool. All of a sudden now, when that hits, it hits again, and then you're drawing twice as many of those cards. On top of that, there's the element to this where it's like, oh, okay, it doesn't say like my creatures or like depending on who they hit. No, it doesn't matter. So again, with those free discard outlets, discard some cards. If an opponent's getting one of their creatures through on another opponent, pump that creature, and now all of a sudden draw a ton of cards when that hits as well. It's a very cool, unique commander that goes about things in a different way. I absolutely love it. Captain Howler, very popular again. 3rd place already. 629 decks to its name. But moving on to 2nd place, unexpectedly, Ketramose the New Dawn is super popular already. 747 decks already to its name. Though not to spoil things, 1st place puts everything else in the dust. That being said, 747 decks is absurd already. 4/4 God, Menace, Lifelink, Indestructible for 3 mana, or Zav. Can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. Whenever 1 or more cards are put in exile from graveyards enter the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card, you lose 1 life. That is super nice. That is super awesome. That is super unique. Again, not necessarily like the blink benefit, essentially, but the, hey, whenever things are out of the graveyard from into exile, that's a huge new open space to work with. This makes like cards like Withered Wretch just be absolutely amazing, where it's like, okay, pay 1 mana, exile card from a graveyard. That normally would be just like, okay, that's like a nice utility card, I guess, to like really hurt your opponents who like care about their graveyards, but if your opponents don't care about graveyards, who cares? This is just like, no. Now it just becomes like 1 mana, draw a card, lose a life. Absolutely absurd greed effect. And yeah, 1 life for 1 card, I'll make that deal any day of the week. Absolutely. This can give you so much value, your head will spin. And on top of that, of course, again, utilizing blink effects, utilizing some broken blink combos, you can do some really crazy things with this. Not surprised to see it up here again. 747 next to its name, good enough for 2nd place. But in 1st place, and I most definitely did not see this coming, especially with how many decks this has. 2,252 decks to its name already. Hashaton Scarab's Fist. This is very unexpected as well because Hashaton isn't even the actual face commander of the precon that it's in. We are at a time where typically, again, like you've got some precon commanders, yeah, those will be decently popular, right? Except for, sorry, Pete and Alar, you didn't make the list even though you are a precon commander. But typically, the actual face commander is the more popular one just because players pick the precon up and they're like, okay, cool, yeah, here's the face commander, I build around this one. This is like, no. I'm sorry, Temmet. Yeah, you're still popular-ish. Again, 600 decks to your name, but I'm basically 4 times as popular as you are already. And you know why? Because it's an incredibly unique and very cool commander. A 1/3 zombie wizard. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create tap tokens, copy that card, except a 4/4 black zombie. This is a super unique and very cool effect that does some awesome things. I mean, it's cheating on, again, creature cost, but in a different way, in a new way, in a unique way, in a way that says, hey, Putrid Imp or, you know, any other, like, Scourge Familiar, my favorite discard outlet, any other free discard outlet out there, you're amazing because all of a sudden you can let me flash in whatever creature I want, but basically a token copy version of that as long as I pay the 3 mana. It's a 4/4, which again is usually going to be like, oh no, my giant Eldrazi is only a 4/4, but oh, it's still got Annihilator 3, so I don't care. Again, you can get some massive ETBs very cheaply, some massive LTBs very cheaply, some massive triggers very cheaply. You can do some really crazy things, and again, you kind of break the mold on what a creature strategy is with this one. And on top of that, yeah, populate here, there, and everywhere. Song of the World Soul, Wizards reprint it. It's an amazing card. But yeah, being able to populate and get extra token copies of cards that you shouldn't be able to get extra token copies of, it's a very cool, very unique commander. And again, incredibly surprising to see this one. Again, zombies are so popular. Zombies are super popular. Temmet at 4th place. This one stole the show. 2,252 decks to its name. Congratulations, Hashaton Scarab's Fist. Well-deserved 1st place finish. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.